Hey, what's up? This is Jared from Ledger Note, and today I'm going to be showing you the Roadie 2 guitar tuner. So when you first start trying to get into this thing, you'll be surprised at how many layers there are before you get to the product, but that's good because it's shipping carefully. So you'll find nice little fluffy styrofoam kind of thing before you see the Roadie tucked into its own little cubby, nice and safe from shipping. It's not going to jar around.
That's right on the money.
So here's the actual Roadie tuner, the product. This is the Roadie 2. When you're ready to cut this thing on, at the back of the wheel you'll see the little Roadie R, and all you have to do is press and hold that, and boom, it's on. Now what's cool is they have a I guess this is an LED screen, but you'll see the little battery indicator showing you how much charge you have. Let's click through here. It's a flywheel or whatever, but this is set up for when we were filming the video. You can create your own, I guess you can add your own instruments to your own preset. So we dealt with an electric, an acoustic, banjo, and mandolin. Then you can add more, or you can return. Now some of the nomenclature on here is admittedly a little bit confusing. So instrument list is actually referring to your instrument list. I think you can rename that actually, so I could say Jared's, tuning. So the point is that you can pass it off to another band member or whatever, so I could be like Josh's tuning. So new instruments, let's look at that. Here we go. Here's your list of all the instruments that this thing can handle. Acoustic, electric, classical guitar, ukulele, concert uke, tenor uke, baritone, mandolin, banjo, and then return. When you're ready to tune, so you hit the button again, and then you strum the guitar, and the vibrations go through the neck and the headstock, and this picks it up. So, but what's nice compared to other tuners that do the same thing essentially, the difference is, and you just heard it, this is motorized. It picks up the vibrations in this little motorized thing. Your tuning pegs go in there, but it'll tune for you. And then, so what happens is it will increment itself to the next string every time you finish. So it'll go bling, bling, and the blue light will turn green, indicating it was good, and it'll automatically jump to the next string automatically. So you don't have to keep re-engaging the tuner. It'll do it for you, so you can just pop from each tuning peg to the next. Now here's something to mention in regards to this, I guess, where you insert the tuning knobs. Now you see they've tried to accommodate a bunch of different sizes. However, that's going to cover most of your use cases. Most of the stuff these days is pretty standardized, but if you look at the video, we were using it's not new anyway. It's not a new acoustic guitar, and the tuning pegs are a little larger. So if you notice, they didn't necessarily fit in there real well. So what we had to do is kind of come to the side. Oh my God! Some may call an old priest and a young priest. So let's back out of this. So when you click into the view where you see all the strings laid out vertically, click again, and you can change the tuning. So this is what's cool. Not only can you program in your set of instruments and then name that list, that set of presets, but then you can go into the tuning. So you can say, this was the electric guitar, I believe, open G, open D, D modal, drop D, all that stuff. And so what happens is, drop D, boom. You'll have your different tuning set up, and it still indicates on there for you. If you're not in the standard tuning, it'll tell you. And it's the same: acoustic, banjo, mandolin. Change your tuning on mandolin. Standard, we got Get Up John. Now, what I would have to say about this is probably the perfect So for somebody like me, my brother, who you saw in the video, is the guitar player. So if you're like me and you just put a new set of strings on your guitar, I'm such a goof. I won't, sometimes I don't even recognize which octave I'm supposed to be in, and then I'll bust the high E string because it's so thin. This will help you overcome those issues as a complete beginner like myself. Now, if you're a advanced player and you can get to where you're comfortable with this interface and you can fly through it, and you might want to take it on stage with you, throw it in your pocket. I don't know. If you're a beginner, you're going to enjoy having this at home. It'll help you become accustomed to which octaves, and especially just with ear training, what notes to tune the strings to. But what I wanted to show you was it has a wind and unwind feature. So let me show that to you. Wind and unwind, and if you start turning it, you can go faster and faster. So what I was trying to get at was if you're professional and you can tune by ear, or perhaps you have a pedal tuner, what this is nice for is it'll help you wind and get close to in tune, and then you can finish her off by ear. We ran into some issues where it just simply wasn't picking up the vibrations. The D string, I remember, we had some trouble with that on the acoustic. With the mandolin and banjo, we didn't really seem to have much problem. And I've not really determined, maybe we should have picked the string harder and create more vibrations, or perhaps we were picking too hard. Now, I'm not saying that's what I'm trying to say is that's user error. That's not the fault of this thing, as far as I can tell. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it was flawless and it was fast. But honestly, I didn't get the chance to tinker enough to figure that out. You'll get accustomed to it and find out the nuances yourself. So here's what's cool. Say you and all your bandmates have the exact same model, the Roadie 2. You can actually go in and you can change the name. So the default, well, I don't know if the default is Roadie name, but you can click in. Yeah, so the default is Roadie 2. So you can go in and change it. I might say this is Jared's Roadie or whatever. Let's see. There's your charger port. Now, I'm not sure what this second big hole is for, but the first hole, you'll have to stick a little paper clip or something in there if you ever need to hard reset this thing, because it does run on software. I actually have encountered that once already. What happens is you'll see the screen stops responding to the wheel. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it resets in a matter of seconds. I'm trying to come up with qualms because I want this to be an honest review, and I don't want people to think I'm just buttering these guys up, but I really don't have much else to complain about. And anything I did complain about, I do believe a portion of that was user error. And I mean, of course, too, it depends on your instrument. This is trying to tune based off of the vibrations of this string being passed through the entire body, neck, and headstock. And at the same time, you're holding the thing against the tuning peg. So you're going to dampen the vibrations if you hold it too tight. So you get the point. But all in all, we put her through the gauntlet or whatever, and it was nice. I am definitely going to keep this because it's a lot of use for me as a beginner. I was going to give it to my brother, and he wants it, but I don't think that's going to happen. He can tune by ear, so he doesn't need it. So all in all, that's the Roadie 2 guitar tuner. Now, if you were watching this and you need something for a bass, they actually make a bass tuner as well. Let me go ahead and mention, this thing has a smartphone app that you can use, I believe. I didn't tinker with it. I didn't even look at it, so I can't promise that this is accurate, but I believe what happens is you can control the tuner through the app versus having to, deal with this scroll wheel. It's not that tedious. I know some people just like their phones. That's it. If you like the video, give it a like, share it, let your homies know if they play guitar, and consider this thing. It's pretty nifty. I like it. I'm keeping it. I'm going to put it to a lot of use.